My name is Chatty and I will be your guide in the modern world of visual knowledge building. One by one, I will show you the aspects that influence the way we are building knowledge. The world is constantly changing. New technologies are appearing rapidly. Our vision on pedagogy has changed heavily in the last decades. The way we communicate is influenced by new technology and cultural changes. All these changes influence the way we are building knowledge nowadays. The future of knowledge building will be based on new theories, technologies, and cultural changes. Since the invention of the wheel, the development of new technologies has changed the world. The revolution of technology has led us from vinyl records to music clouds and from blackboards to MacBooks. Technology makes it easier to communicate with people all over the world. The upgrowing generation is used to use ICT tools for learning, spending spare time and staying in touch. They are what Prensky called digital natives. 20-year-old people and older ones represent the in-between generations. They have to adapt to new technology, and that's how the digital immigrant is born. The way we are being educated nowadays is much different from what our parents experienced in their youth. In the past, only kids from higher social classes were able to study in high schools and universities. The teacher was the expert and had a high status. Today, teachers become students and students become teachers. In the Western culture, everyone has now the opportunity and freedom to learn exactly what they want. Even if their parents are cleaning the office of an international company, their kids can still become the CEO of that company. Pedagogy is based on theories. In the past, it was believed that behaviorism, based on stimulus-response reactions, was the right approach. After that, it was constructivism that was thought to be the best model for knowledge building. Construction of knowledge was based on own knowledge combined with external input. Nowadays, connectivism is the upcoming trend, but I'll come back to this theory in a second. From cave paintings to Twitter, communication has always been an essential part of our life. Humans constantly need to express their personality, to share and gather knowledge. It's not the need for communication that has really changed, but the way we are doing it and the tools we are using. Nowadays, sharing knowledge is so easy that there is an overwhelming amount of information. The old institutions of knowledge, such as libraries and universities, are still important, but there are many new ways to transfer knowledge. George Siemens' theory about connectivism talks about how all sources of knowledge are connected, which can be either people, books, lectures, or movies. This will slowly lead to a future where it will be more important to know how to select valuable knowledge than where to find it. The world is becoming a village. That is globalization in a nutshell. Time, space, and physical presence are getting more and more compressed, which leads to the disappearance of boundaries. This makes sharing knowledge worldwide easier and gives us inside information of all over the world. It is nowadays already possible to view lectures from universities such as Harvard or Stanford online for free. The past was all about what was best for the society as a whole and what could make it function better. Individual needs were put aside, while society's wants were always on top of the list. Although, nowadays, there is an acute need of working in teams, people have never been more focused on their own needs. Their priorities have changed, they always come first, while the society as a whole has moved on a lower position. This has changed the way we learn and gather knowledge. For example, you are not just becoming a doctor, but a specialist in a specific field. I showed you a couple of changes in technology, pedagogy, communication, globalization, and culture. Based on these changes, I will try and show what's expected of the future. Knowledge is definitely the drive behind development. In the past, present, and future, knowledge was, is, and will still be a vital part of living. The way we are building knowledge will become a more and more co-productive action. Someone will start studying a topic, and people from all over the world will be able to add their knowledge to the discussion. Driven by this trend, authorship will become less important. A good example is Wikipedia, where everyone can edit or review knowledge. The wisdom of the crowd is the new professor. Once knowledge is created, it can be easily shared on a blog or website, making possible for others to use it anywhere and anytime. To make the growing amount of knowledge understandable, we will use visuals more and more often. But the combination of visuals and text is the strongest way to share knowledge. In the future years, access to information will not only be open to anyone and at any time, but we will find ourselves buried under such great amounts. We won't have to look for it, we will basically have to find ways to filter it. And that will be the greatest challenge of all, to be able to distinguish reliable sources from questionable ones, basically to learn how to make wise choices. The world has been changing, and it is our task to take advantage of it and use it for our own benefits.